Operations and maintenances of XS125 Vibratory Road Roller. The XS125/XS125 PD Vibratory Road Roller is a heavy-duty, self-propelled, fully hydraulic, single steel drum, double-drive vibratory roller developed especially for the European market. This product conforms to the Euro Stage 5 emissions regulation. Featuring high exciting force, high compacting efficiency, and good compacting quality, it's extensively applied for compacting the base and sub-base layers at rock landfills, highways, railways, airports, ports, dams, and industrial construction sites. Preparations before start. Before start, ensure that no repair personnel is repairing on the road roller. Rotate the power switch to the on position. Ensure that the emergency brake is already released and shift the traveling joystick to the middle gear P to ensure that the machine is under parking status. Adjust the steering wheel angle and the seat position to achieve optimal operating comfort and fasten the seat belt. Engine start. Check the sound and light warning system, including the horn and warning lamp. Rotate the ignition key switch to the on position. Check the brake status sign, fuel indicator, AdBlue level indicator, and voltage indicator on the display screen for normal indications. Check the brake system for reliable working. Position the road roller under stationary status. Enter the brake test interface and perform the braking test. Push the joystick from P towards F. After several seconds, the parking brake result is displayed on the display screen. Push the joystick to P position. The parking brake test result is displayed on the display screen. If the test fails, the above prompt interface is displayed. In such case, please contact XCMG repair personnel for the repairs. Press the start-stop button or continue to rotate the ignition key switch to rotate the starter motor and thus start the engine. Once the engine is started, immediately release the ignition key switch. Notice the driver must sit on the seat, otherwise the engine cannot be started. If the diesel engine fails to start, wait for 2 to 3 minutes before retrying. Do not exceed 5 consecutive starts. Preparation before driving. Before driving the road roller, make sure to close the cab doors. After starting the engine, idle the engine with joystick in gear P or N for several minutes. Press the button on the button panel for short distances. For travel or site transfer, please select the transfer mode. For compacting operation, please select the working mode. Rotate the steering wheel leftward and rightward one time each way to check the steering system for normal operation. Driving of the road roller. Select the required mode. There are 2 modes for XS125. One working mode with a speed range of 0 to 5 km per hour, and 2 the transfer mode with a speed range of 0 to 11 km per hour. To drive the road roller forward, push the joystick from gear P to F. To drive the roller backwards, pull to R. When the joystick is returned to gear N, the parking brake will be activated after 2 seconds. When the joystick is returned to gear P, the parking brake is activated immediately and the engine will return to idling status after 10 seconds. In working mode, the speed limiting knob can control the speed within 0 to 5 km per hour to limit the maximum speed of the roller. Under transfer mode, the speed limiting knob can control the speed within 0 to 11 km per hour to limit the maximum speed of the roller. The speed of the roller is proportional to the traveled angle of the joystick from the neutral position. The larger the traveled angle, the higher the speed is. During driving, check all indications on the display screen for normal values. The hydraulic oil temperature shall not exceed 75 degrees Celsius generally, and not exceed 80 degrees Celsius at the most. The water temperature shall generally not exceed 98 degrees Celsius at the most. The water temperature or oil temperature rising sharply indicates probable leakage in the system. If the water temperature exceeds 102 degrees Celsius, immediately stop the engine for inspection. Notice: if the engine oil pressure, water temperature, or after treatment warning is displayed on the display screen, it indicates that the diesel engine is malfunctioned. Immediately stop the engine and check and solve the malfunction if possible. In the event of an out-of-control forward and reverse joystick or steering operation, immediately use the emergency stop button to stop the machine and check for malfunctions. Vibration of road roller. 1. Selection of working mode. 2. Selection of vibrating amplitude as shown in the diagram. Press both buttons 2 and 3 to select large vibrating amplitude of 30 Hz. Press both buttons 4 and 3 to select small vibrating amplitude of 35 Hz. After the selection of vibrating amplitude, the previously selected amplitude is cancelled automatically. 3. Selection of vibrating mode. Press the button 5 when the lower backlight of this button turns on. The road roller is under manual vibration mode, and the start and stop of the vibration are controlled by the driver. When the upper backlight of this button turns on, the road roller is under automatic vibration mode, and the start and stop of vibrating are controlled by the traveling speed of the roller. After one vibrating mode is selected, the previously selected mode is cancelled automatically. It is void to select vibrating mode during the vibrating of road roller. 4. Start and stop of vibration under the automatic vibrating mode. The start and stops of this vibrating depend on the traveling speed of the road roller. The automatic vibrating starts can be set in the functional interface. Under the manual vibrating mode, press the vibrating button to start the vibration and press it again to stop. Notice: under automatic vibrating mode, the speed is 0.5 kilometers for first gear, 1 kilometer for second gear, and 1.5 kilometers for third gear. To avoid damage to the machine, do not operate with vibration when the roller is stationary or traveling at a speed below 0.5 kilometers per hour. It's prohibited to start the vibration of the road roller on a solid ground. Braking of the road roller. 1. Service brake. It's completed by the traveling controls when the forward-reverse joystick is in gear N. The hydrostatic drive of the hydraulic system is utilized to slow down and stop the roller. 2. Parking brake. The spring-applied and hydraulically released brakes on the vibrating drum can be used as a parking brake and can immediately apply the braking when the diesel engine is stopped or the hydraulic circuit oil pressure drops to 0. After stopping of the road roller, push the forward-reverse joystick outward to gear P to apply the parking brake so that the road roller will not move. If the machine is parked on a slope, block the machine with wooden blocks. 3. Emergency brake. In the event of an emergency, push down the emergency brake button to immediately apply the braking and stop the machine. During braking, securely hold the steering wheel. After the machine is stopped, completely reset the emergency brake button. Do not push this button down during driving unless in an event of an emergency, such as failure of service brake. It's prohibited to reuse this button frequently. Notice, during the high-speed traveling of road roller, applying the emergency braking will probably burn the brakes within the drive motor and the drive axle, resulting in unnecessary repairs of the road roller. Stopping of the road roller. 1. Shift the forward-reverse joystick to gear N to stop the roller. 2. Push the forward-reverse joystick outward to gear P to place the roller under parking status. 3. Idle the engine for several minutes. 4. Press the start/stop button or rotate counterclockwise the ignition key switch to stop the engine. Maintenances of the road roller. Before the routine maintenance on the roller, park the roller on a horizontal road, stop the engine, and lift the engine hood by the lifting switch. Refueling. Check the diesel level in the fuel tank and ensure that the fuel in the tank will not be used up, otherwise it will result in air ingress into the fuel system. The maximum fueling capacity is 260 liters. Filling of AdBlue. Check the AdBlue level and add AdBlue timely and ensure that the AdBlue and the AdBlue tank will not be used up. The maximum filling capacity is 33 liters. Checking of engine oil level. Check the oil level by the oil dipstick. Withdraw the oil dipstick, wipe away the oil from the end with a clean cloth, reinsert the dipstick, and withdraw again. The oil level shall be between the upper and lower limits of the oil dipstick. If the oil level is close to the lower limit, add oil. Unscrew the engine oil filler port on the engine hood and add diesel engine oil through a funnel till the oil level is between the upper and lower limits of the oil dipstick. Do not add excessive oil, otherwise the engine parts such as crankcase will be damaged. Checking of engine coolant level. Observe the level of coolant in the water tank via the observation port to verify whether the system is already filled fully with antifreeze. Check the system for leakage. Add clean antifreeze into the water radiator through the filler port until the level reaches the middle red position of the observation port. It is prohibited to add water. Checking of hydraulic tank oil level. The oil level of the hydraulic tank can be observed on the left rear side of the roller. Check the oil pointer. If the oil level is below the top of transparent glass by greater than 2 centimeters, add hydraulic oil. Upon detection of dropped oil, check the oil pipeline system and connection. Checking clearance between the mud drum and the scraper. Check the mud scraper for damage and for departure from the drum surface, and ensure a 15 to 20 millimeter clearance. If the mud scraper is worn, loosen the scraper adjustment nut to adjust the scraper. If the scraper is seriously worn, replace it. During machine transfer, to prevent unnecessary wear of the scraper, please screw and detach the adjustment screw to lift up the scraper from the drum surface. During use, please unscrew the screw to bring the scraper closer to the drum surface again. Checking for reliable working of the brake. Check the brake as per the method of Section 8 of Part 3. Checking of emergency brake system. Run the engine at low idling speed and position the machine under stationary status. Push down the emergency stop button. The engine shall stop immediately, and the electrical system should stop immediately as well. If not, the emergency stop button is functioning incorrectly and immediate repair is required. Please contact your XCMG partner for further support. Checking of wheel reducer lubricating oil. Park the road roller on a horizontal ground and thoroughly clean the areas around the filler plug and the level plug. Unscrew the filler plug and level plug and fill lubricating oil through the filler plug until the oil flows out from the oil level plug. Tighten both of the plugs and put the roller back into operation. Air filter warning lamp. The air filter is provided with a pressure drop display device, which is connected to the warning lamp on the display. If the air filter icon on the display screen turns red and the buzzer sounds, it indicates that the cleaning of the filter is required. Checking of vibrating drum oil level. Park the road roller on a horizontal road. Adjust the oil drainage plug to the 12 o'clock position. Wipe the oil level plug and surrounding areas clean. Loosen the plug and check for outflow of lubricating oil. If no flow, unscrew the oil drainage plug and add oil through the port until oil flows out from the level plug. Then tighten both plugs. Checking of drive axle oil level. Park the roller on a flat road and move the machine to position the wheel reducer oil plugs to the horizontal center line. Stop the engine. If necessary, cool down the oil to prevent scalding. Unscrew the level plugs of the wheel and main reducers on both sides. The oil will flow through the checking position threaded ports. If the oil level is low, please add oil. The required volume is approximately 4 liters for each side. Checking of shock pads and fastening screws. Check the shock pads for damages such as cracking, and check fastening bolts for secure fastening. Upon detection of any 10 to 15 millimeter deep crack in shock pads, replace it. If the number of damaged shock pads exceeds 1/3 of the total number on the machine, replace the entire set. Checking of battery. Check the battery cables for secure connection. Upon detection of any corrosion on the wiring terminals, remove it and then apply dielectric grease. Checking of hydraulic oil tank filler cap. The hydraulic oil tank filler cap is the sole means of the hydraulic oil tank to lead to the open air, and its vent port must be kept non-obstructed. If necessary, clean the oil filler cap by diesel. Unscrew the filler cap, disconnect the cap rope, clean the filler cap by diesel, and air dry it. Checking of engine belt. Attached, see the belt checking video. Please refer to the operation and maintenance manual of engine. Notice: make sure to stop the engine before you check the belt. Checking of machine body labels. Check all danger, warning, notice, and other labels on the machine for damage or for loss. Upon detection of any damaged or lost labels, please purchase replacements from your XCMG dealer. Affix it to the body. If any label is contaminated by dirt, please clean by detergent. Cleaning of main filtration components of the air filter. Loosen the circlip on the air filter cover, take out the air filter cover, withdraw the main filter element, and check the inside of the element for presence of dust. If debris exists, remove by compressed air. Withdraw the outer filter element and blow clean the main filter element by compressed air with a pressure of no more than 5 bar. After checking, clean the inner walls of air filter housing, inner walls of air filter cover, and whirl plates. Reinstall the main filter element and whirl plates and keep the dust discharge port downwards. Check the seal ring for intactness and replace if defective. Finally, install the air filter cover. Notice: generally, after the outer filter element is cleaned 3 times, or if the warning lamp is still on after the replacement, this indicates the blockage of the inner filter element. Replace the inner filter element at this time, as the inner element is non-cleanable. External cleaning of engine radiator and hydraulic radiator. Open the hood and carefully clean the cooling fins of the radiator by compressed air or high pressure water. After cleaning, start the engine to vaporize the water in the radiator. In such case, the road roller is under non-working status in order to prevent the adhesion of dirt from causing difficult cleaning. Full drainage of fuel strainer. Place a waste oil container in capacity of 5 liters beneath the left side of the rear frame. Place a funnel to the bottom of the fuel strainer, connect a hose, and connect the waste oil container by the round port on the bottom of the engine compartment. Open the drainage valve of the fuel strainer to flow the separated water and deposits into the waste container. Continue until clean fuel flows out and then close the drainage valve. Bleed the air if necessary. Loosen the air bleeding valve plug. Press the primer on the fuel strainer repeatedly until the fuel flowing out is free of air bubbles. Finally, tighten the air bleeding plug. Replacement of engine oil and engine oil filter. Run a cold engine till the coolant temperature reaches 60 degrees Celsius. Stop the engine, place a waste oil container in capacity of greater than or equal to 15 liters onto the ground beneath the engine. Unscrew the filler cap and the oil drainage plug on the oil sump. While draining, replace the engine oil filter. Unscrew the engine oil filter element by hand or belt wrench and wipe clean the sealing surface of the filter to thoroughly remove the residues of the old filter seal ring. Fill clean oil into the filter and lightly apply an oil film to the new seal ring. Screw the new filter on by hand till the seal ring comes into close fit of the housing, and then tighten it a further half a turn. Wipe the plug clean and reinstall. Fill with approximately 14 liters of engine oil. Check the oil level by the dipstick and ensure that the oil level is between the upper and lower limits. Then install the oil filler cap, start the engine and run the engine for a warm-up, and check for the presence of any oil leakage. Notice, do not tighten the filter element too tight, otherwise the seal ring will be damaged mechanically. Tightening the filter element excessively will damage the threads. Start the engine and check the sealing performance. Make sure to use the correct engine oil filter. Replacement of engine fuel fine filter. Unscrew the filter element and take caution that fuel will flow out. Wipe the sealing surface of the filter cover clean and lightly apply a film of clean diesel onto the new seal ring before installation. Fill clean diesel into the filter and screw the new filter element in by hand until the seal ring comes into close contact, and then tighten it for half a turn. Bleed air from the fuel system and then start the engine and check for the presence of any leakage. Replacement of wheel reducer lubricating oil. Before draining the oil, drive the road roller to warm up the wheel reducers, or drain the oil immediately after working the roller. Park the roller on a flat surface. Wipe clean the areas around the oil drainage plug, filler plug, and level plug. Place a clean container with a capacity of 5 liters beneath the oil drainage plug and unscrew all 3 plugs to drain the oil. Then screw the oil drainage plug in. Fill approximately 3 liters of lubricating oil through the filler plug until the oil flows out through the level plug. Tighten the oil filler plug and oil level plug and put the roller back into operation. Replacement of engine fuel strainer element. Stop the engine, unscrew the fuel filter element, and install new fuel filter element. Loosen the air bleeding plug. Then press the primer on the fuel strainer repeatedly until the diesel flowing through the air bleeding plug is free of air bubbles. Then tighten the bleeding plug. Replacement of hydraulic oil filter element. Place a waste oil container beneath and thoroughly clean the area surrounding the filter and remove the filter element. Carefully wipe clean the sealing surface on the filter cover and apply a film of oil onto the new seal ring. Install the new filter element by hand till the seal ring fits tightly, and then tighten further half a turn. After assembling, check for oil leakage. Ensure that there is no oil permeation before starting the machine for working. Notice, do not leave old seal ring on the filter seat, otherwise there will be leakage between the new and the old seals. Replacement of air filter safety element. Loosen the circlip on the air filter cover. Take out the air filter cover. Withdraw the main filter element, take out the safety filter element, and replace with a new one. Clean the inner walls of the air filter housing, inner walls of the air filter cover, and whirl plates. Replace with a new main filter element, reinstall the whirl plates, and install the air filter cover. Notice: replace the main filter element along with the replacement of safety filter element. Generally, after the outer filter element has been cleaned 3 times, or if the warning lamp is still on after replacement, it indicates blockage of the inner filter element. Replace the filter element on the inner, as it is not cleanable. Do not leave the old seal ring on the filter seat, otherwise there will be leakage. Replacement of vibrating drum oil. Park the road roller on a horizontal position. Adjust the oil drainage plug to the 6 o'clock position. Place a waste oil container with 50 liters capacity near the drum in such a manner that the waste oil within the drum can flow into the container. Unscrew the drainage plug to fully drain the lubricating oil from the drum. Clean the filler plug and drainage plug. Start the road roller and adjust the oil filler plug to the 12 o'clock position. Fill approximately 18 liters of oil through the oil port by a funnel and hose. Then tighten the oil filler plug, move the machine to oil check status, and check the oil level. Fill till the oil flows out through the oil drainage plug, and then tighten the oil drainage plug. Replacement of coolant. Replace the coolant after the engine is fully cooled. Place a waste fluid container in capacity of 40 liters beneath the water drainage valve and open the drainage valve to drain the coolant into the waste container. After full drainage, tighten the water drainage valve, fill pure antifreeze into the water radiator through the water filler port. It's prohibited to fill water or a mixture of water and antifreeze. Add antifreeze into the cooling system till the level reaches the middle red marking of the sight glass, approximately 35 liters. Notice: make sure to wait for the full cool down of engine before replacing the coolant. Replacement of drive axle oil. Move the road roller till the wheel reducer oil plugs on both sides are at the lowest position. Disassemble the lower closure plates of the machine body. Place a container of appropriate capacity beneath the oil drainage plugs of the wheel and main reducers and unscrew the oil drainage plugs to collect the drained oil. After the full drainage of oil, reinstall the oil fill plugs. Park the road roller on a flat road. Position the wheel reducer oil plugs to the horizontal center line. Disassemble the filler plug and level plug on the main reducer and fill approximately 8 liters of oil into the main reducer till the oil flows out through the level plug port. Fill approximately 4 liters of oil on each side through the checking position plug ports of the reducers until the oil flows out through the ports. Tighten the oil filler plugs and ensure no leakage during the installation. Filling of lubricating grease. Apply lubricating grease to the cab hinges, hood hinges, articulations, and lubricating nipples of the vibrating drum respectively by the grease gun. Oil drainage and cleaning of hydraulic oil tank. Place a container in capacity of greater than or equal to 100 liters beneath the oil drainage plug of the hydraulic oil tank. Unscrew the oil drainage plug of the tank to fully drain the oil. Disassemble the hydraulic oil tank guard plates and hydraulic oil tank cap and clean the inside and outside of the tank. The hydraulic oil tank cap, the oil drainage plug of the hydraulic oil tank, and clean the surrounding area of the drainage plug. Screw the oil drainage plug of hydraulic oil tank and fill hydraulic oil till the oil level reaches the middle upper portion of the level gauge of the oil filling volume. It's approximately 125 liters. Install the hydraulic oil tank cap and check for leakage. Draining and cleaning a fuel tank. Place a waste oil container enough to accommodate the residual fuel of the fuel tank to the left side of the rear frame. Unscrew the drainage plug by Allen wrench and drain the fuel through the funnel and hose into the waste oil container. When necessary, add some clean fuel through the filler port to flush the tank twice. Tighten the drainage plug by Allen wrench, check for leakage, and add clean fuel into the tank and reinstall the fuel tank cap. Notice: pay special attention to the fire protection during the drainage and cleaning of the fuel tank. This video is for demonstration only. For the actual operations and questions, please strictly refer to the operation manual of this product. Thank you for watching.